Welcome back to the Diaspora channel and happy new week, everyone. I hope you guys had a great weekend and thanks so much for tuning in tonight. As you guys know, this platform is about us, celebrating our own, promoting our businesses, and also, building the bridge between the diaspora and the continent, Africa. And tonight, this stream is another important stream in the sense that we know the problem. We can't just keep talking about the problem and believe that things will just sort themselves out. So I'm so happy to have my two amazing guests with me here tonight. So guys, stay tuned, and if you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so each time I go live or upload a new video, you can be notified. Et bonsoir tout le monde, très bon début de semaine à tous. J'espère que tout se passe très bien chez vous. Et ce soir, je m'appelle Kai Gabiam. Et sur cette plateforme, c'est ce qu'on peut faire, en fait, comment promouvoir nos business et puis comment partager les idées et aussi partager aussi ce qui se passe sur le continent ainsi que sur ici dans la diaspora. Donc, ce soir, j'ai deux invités avec moi et leur initiative, en fait, c'est une initiative panafricaine. Donc, ils vont nous expliquer l'objectif, le rôle de cette initiative et comment vous aussi vous pouvez faire partie de cette initiative, afin de nous aider tous, parce que eux aussi, ils pensent et aussi ils comprennent l'importance d'avoir une Afrique unie, une Afrique sans frontières. Donc, c'est ce dont on va parler ce soir, et ils travaillent plus avec les jeunes sur le continent pour les préparer, en fait, parce que on sait vraiment que la jeunesse et on a besoin d'eux pour une meilleure Afrique aussi. So welcome, Kwame and Brother Nat. How are you guys doing?
All good. Give thanks.
Awesome. I'm so happy to have both of you here with me tonight. So please go ahead and introduce yourself. We'll start with, I can see Brother Kwame on the screen right now. So Brother Nate, I will let you introduce yourself and tell us about RAP. Yeah, let's read like that. The Rapid Africa Plan. So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you again, Sister Kai, the work that you're doing and continuing to doing. You know, I always say we, not in any demeaning way, but we have the sayers and we have the doers. And it's that those say have a purpose and those that are doing have a purpose. If you are saying and you're doing towards the liberation of our people, and, trying to eradicate our oppression that we're experiencing, then I salute you. So I salute you, Sister Kai, and to the listeners, because I know many of us, we're doing what we need to do or saying what we need to say, but now is the time very much for action. And I guess just to tell you a bit of myself, Brother Nat, my name, my full name, Nathaniel Pamah, born here, sadly, in the UK, poor Britain. And my family background, coming from the Caribbean and the Caribbean. However, obviously my origins, my roots are staunch in the motherland. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm 34. Worked in mental health for the NHS, the National Health Service over here, for more than a decade. I started when I was only 21 in the specific Department of Mental Health. So I've had quite a fortunate exposure to how mental health works and, how we can support people with mental health, albeit from a Eurocentric point of view. I studied social science at Birkbeck, same university as Marcus Garvey, our Honourable Marcus Messiah Garvey, as I love to say. And I've now taken my steps for the last, I'd say 5-6 years officially, of learning about my history, understanding how things came to be, why we're in this situation, why there is such thing as racism, what drives racism to be here in the first place, and then ultimately how we're going to solve this problem. So a lot of what, why, and how. However, that has put me on a course to link in with fellow sisters and brothers like yourself, Sister Kai, like Brother Kwame here, and I have to hail up my brother Kwame, because it's him where we've kind of where I feel we've kind of taken things from strength to strength. There's still a long way to go. I would land by saying, I know that we're all at different stages. It's almost like it's been, probably people have seen this image before, but it's almost like we're in a storm and we're on different boats. Some of us are on the same boat, thinking we're definitely going to get through this storm. Some thinking it's a bit shaky. Some thinking there's no hope whatsoever. However, one thing that's in common is that we recognize the storm. We recognize that we are the storm, aka being the system of white terrorism or white supremacy. I tend not to give it that name, but white terrorism. And it's that although we're in this storm and on different boats, we have the same agenda. We know that we need to get through it. We know that we are great people, and we know that Africa should be for Africans. So I'll speak a bit more about rap a bit later, but I just want to again say thank you. I'm blessed to be sharing the platform with my brother Kwame, and I'm blessed to hear from the listeners as well.
You're so welcome. Thanks so much, Brother Nate. Please, Brother Kwame, go ahead and introduce yourself, and yes, and share a little bit, just a little bit about where you're from, and just for the viewers to know a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, thanks so much, Sister Kai.
You're welcome.
I just want to appreciate our ancestors who started the work, and to give thanks to our creator. My name is Kwame Gonza, as and I've been staying in West Africa for the last 8 years, but I was born in West Africa, and I came to learn about the Pan African work here in West Africa when I started reading the works of Honorable Marcus Garvey, when I started reading the works of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and what he did in the 60s, for us, what he did in the 50s and 60s, in helping to liberate our people all over the world, and then planting the seed for us. So this is what I came to learn about the work. Recently is when, as the fire was burning, is when I came across a couple of groups, Africa 55 States, Rapid Africa Plan, and consequently I met Brother Nat, and we started working together in mobilizing. We are appearing on Galaxy, Galaxy a few way. So we normally talk about the solutions and where we want to take Africa, because we believe we, the people, we are the one who are responsible for taking this continent. And as history has always been, it's the people, we the people, when we have always, become conscious to a certain stage that this is our right. It is our right to be free people and not slaves. It is our right to be not a colonized people, free people who can govern themselves. Then we have always risen up, and amidst they have always leaders who have always pushed us to the front, and they have come out of these movements, and we have always got freedom. So we that this is our time again to liberate ourselves from neocolonialism, to liberate ourselves from the economic colonialism that is going on, whether it is American colonialism, which is going on, the occupation with militaries all over the continent, whether it is France, which is disturbing all over the other countries like Togo, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger. So all these things, like when we talk about what happened recently in Mali, this is a demonstration by the people that when they rise up and when they start thinking on a higher level, or when they become conscious of what is going on, they can liberate themselves. So it is on this point, you know, it is on this note that we started working with Brother Nat to see what can be done so that we can help in liberating people all over the world and the continent, Mother Africa.
Right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kai.
Thank you. So I'll ask you now, Brother Kwame, and then Brother Nate, and then Brother Kwame can follow. What is the Rapid Africa Plan?
Yeah, so the Rapid Africa Plan is a program which is based on a book. The book is called The Riot Act, the Third World Modernization Bible. So the concept in the Rapid Africa Plan is that we, the people, especially we, the youth, can transform our continent, working together with the elders and those ones who wish the continent well. We can transform this continent to a leading GDP of 60 trillion in less than 40 years. So that is the vision to which the Rapid Africa Plan is based. So we believe that if we live on the population of the continent, which is around 1.2 billion people, and our population, which is outside the continent, in Europe, in Asia, in South America, Caribbean, and North America, which is around 400 million people, in Brazil, all over. So all together, the Rapid Africa Plan looks at leveraging on the population of 1.4 billion people, African people around the world, and then the African resources which we have already. So the Rapid Africa Plan believes that these resources, which if they are organized, we are talking about around 300 trillion, more than 300 trillion of resources in the ground in Africa. So the Rapid Africa Plan believes that what has been lacking now has been the organization of these resources, the human resource which we have, and we have around 65% of the literacy rate on the continent. So if we put the diaspora, African diaspora, I think that literacy rate could go up, maybe up to 67% or 70%. So these human resource and material resources, they are not organized. So that is what the Rapid Africa Plan wants to organize. And it is urgent in its nature, in that it points out to the vision and says we want to achieve a GDP of 60 trillion in less than 40 years. The African Union estimates that by 63, which is approximately 50 years from now, the African continent will achieve around 27 trillion. So the Rapid Africa Plan pushes that number higher to 60 trillion. Why? Because we have more than, when we organize all these resources together, we will achieve more than 60 trillion, because we already have in the ground more than 300 trillion of resources. So because it is more organized, the Rapid Africa Plan is more organized than the plans which have been given by the African Union or anything else. So that is how it looks at things. But basically, it has to be driven by the people themselves. The people have to come together and support the Rapid Africa Plan. The youth have to come together to support it, for it to move forward to achieve its objective of liberating the African people economically and transforming the African continent, industry, everything, building everything together and putting it where, putting the Africans where they're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So that is briefly what the Africa Plan is about.
Awesome. And who is actually the head of the organization?
The president of the organization, the Rapid Africa Plan, is called Hannington Mugaiba. He's the architect of the Rapid Africa Plan. He was born in Zimbabwe,
Okay.
and he has stayed in the United States for the last 20 years. So he came down and then started planning. He was in the United States and started studying the problem, why Africa is not developing, for the last 7 years. And from 7 years, he was able to develop a plan and develop a manual, which he encouraged everyone to read, which is the Riot Act, the third way modernization Bible. That book is available on Amazon, so anyone can go and read it. So that is basically, the gentleman is a 65-year-old man, and yeah, that is about him basically.
Okay, I'll definitely put the link in the description box for anyone that want to get the book, you know, the people that will watch the stream later, and anyone in the stream right now. Is called The Riot Acts, and you can get that book on Amazon. So, Brother Kwame, I know the Rapid African Plan believe in a borderless Africa, which, you know, I 100% agree with. So how do you think, you know, the Rapid African Plan will be able to achieve that?
So the Rapid Africa Plan wants to work with existing structure to negotiate with them. First of all, it is right now is on the ground putting together the you know, the executive of opinion leaders who will be able to influence. You know, in society right now we have people who influence the existing presidents. People like former presidents, people like powerful Pan Africanists. You can talk of people like powerful, you know, who are professionals. For example, you can talk of people like Adesina, Dr. Adesina, or the president of the African Development Bank. You can talk of a lot of people. You can talk of former presidents. A lot of them are on the continent. So the Rapid Africa Plan is putting together that team, which will be able to influence the existing people, the existing presidents, into looking at the Rapid Africa Plan and how important it is. And then we can also start working together with all of them. So we believe that in this way, when you put together a team of you know, influential people, the Pan-Africanists who believe in Africa, then people like you know, Thabo Mbeki, people like that, and then they will be able to influence, you know, how these existing presidents think about Africa and how the Rapid Africa Plan is important and how we should implement it. So working together, we will be able to achieve that objective.
Right. Awesome. Brother Nate, when it comes to, you know, our children, because I know Rapid Africa Plan work, you know, with the youth, you know, in general. So when it comes to the one in the diaspora, we know like some of them, they don't actually have that drive, you know, for things that have to do with, you know, Africa, for example. Not all of them, but some of them. So how do we reach out to these young people here, you know, in the diaspora to understand the importance of rallying behind initiative or organizations like the RAP?
Well, it's a good question. It's an interesting question as well, because this is it's quite an age-old question. I would say there's a few ways of looking at it, which is, you know, there is, as just general human beings, we have humanity, we have the ability to show humanity, to have morals, to have ethics, you know, to believe in what should be just, what should be right. So those are things that are kind of a universal base. And the reason why I raise those things is because as we look to our motherland, and whether you are a direct descendant from, i.e., you've come from Africa and gone into Europe, or outside of the continent, or you are born outside of the continent and therefore are a person of African descent. Either way, and furthermore, people outside of our community, we have all witnessed, even more so, without even having to pick up a book or even watch the news. Just from our simple device, we've seen the horrors and the tyranny and the inhumane acts that have taken place over the years, the decades, the centuries. And so that should pull on young people even more so, I'd say, because they're in a state of mind where they're discovering the world, and then seeing that the atrocities that are happening in places where there are people that look like them should trigger something of wanting to at least react. And what we've seen over the last year of 2020, most definitely, as a prime example, and Honorable Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, student to Kwame Nkrumah, spoke very much about organizing and the revolution, and how we take steps to bring about liberation for our people. And one thing which he said was, we have an emotional, reactive, mobilized action. It's something where we see an unjust act, like what we've seen in Nigeria of recent, and we want to call to attention. We have a quick way of organizing action, but not organizing thought and not organizing how we should go about things. So what I'm saying here is that how we can get young people to really be a part of this movement to liberate our people is by showing them, number one, how this affects us on a moral plane. And these are people that look like you and me. Furthermore, we are related, put it simply. And secondly, which isn't my favorite, is trying to, and this is all done on the basis of education. Let me say that clearly. Whether that's the most effective way, and Brother Kwame, I know he would agree with me, and yourself, Sister Kai, is reading. Picking up a book and reading. And for the diaspora, for those Africans that are out of the continent, that is far more easier to do. But guess what? The motivation to do so is in complete contrast to our sisters and brothers, our young sisters and brothers on the continent. What we know for sure is that there is a thirst to educate themselves if you're on the continent, and read and enjoy it. Whereas that's not quite the same here in the diaspora and outside of the continent. So it is a matter of exposing that information, having more, and no pressure, Sister Kai, but more shows from the Diaspora channel. More support.
Anytime, any day, I'm ready.
It's the fact that you are providing the information, you see, and making it more easily accessible. So the access to information to show young people about the atrocities and to show this is immoral, and so thus you should be wanting to act, just generally speaking. And the second one, as I said, is about the opportunity to actually better yourself. Marcus Garvey always drew on the fact that if you make Africa great, then the whole provinces of all land across the world will be yours. It'd be for you to be able to be self-determined, more self-determined than ever before, because Africa will be great, your throne will be great, and your home, as in the rest of the world and Africa, will be, just as we see from our European counterparts, it will be your oyster. You will have more freedom just to be and to thrive, and not just to survive, but to thrive. And furthermore, the opportunity within the motherland. I don't think people, and this is coming from someone who's never stepped foot, let me make that clear, but I would say this as a matter of fact: there is no place like Africa, purely because it has all of what you need. And I'm sure Brother Kwame will back me up, being on the soil right now, that it is like, for those from the Caribbean, it's like tenfold of Jamaica. It's like, you look at Mount Everest, we've got Mount Kilimanjaro. You look at the beaches, we've got untold amount of beaches in the motherland. Anything of your desire, you know, the picking of the fruit is plentiful, you know. So it is a matter of opening up your mind, de-brainwashing, as we say on Galaxy Afiwi radio station, de-brainwashing, unlearning, emancipating your mind. And trust me, it will be an enjoyable journey. It will be a journey of adventure. And so it is about the education. But this, I'm mindful that we say this a lot, that we say, oh, we just need to educate the young people. Let's give our young people some practical things that they can do.
That's right.
You know, and I guess I'm segueing for Brother Kwame as well, but the easy, accessible text that you should read, the essential text that you should read. And I'll start with Marcus Messiah Garvey, Philosophies and Opinions. It's not the actual starting point, but it very much has it's in the name. It has a sure philosophy and a sure understanding of opinions which we can relate with, that resonate with us, because here is a black man who's traveled around different parts of the world to see other people that look like him and see what they were going through. Now, there is some text where you can resonate, get some understanding. And I know a modern one, which most people are aware of, is the autobiography of Malcolm X. It is those two texts which can open up the mind of anyone, but especially our young kings and queens, and enable them to start just having a critical mind, starting to think outside of the book, you know. So yeah, so I think reading is essential to as a initiation, but most definitely as well, if you can't get to the reading, do your Google search, come and listen and watch and attentively take note of the Diaspora channel. You know, sign up to Rapid Africa Plan, which I know we're going to get onto, but I'll leave it there. I think Brother Kwame could easily add a reading list, which could just completely emancipate the mind and help our young people to initiate that spark of inquiry, of spirit inquiry, I should say, and then think about, okay, what do I do? I'm excited. What do I do? You know, so I'll leave it there. But as I said, I'm hinting. Brother Kwame, I know he's got
I agree, because there are so many distractions, you know, when it comes to it. There is nothing wrong with your video games, you know, your Instagram, your Snapchat, nothing wrong with all those, you know, jags. But what I'm saying is there is more to life than that. So time to time, you know, young queens and kings like Brother Nate mentioned, you know, you go out there. It's not so hard to access any book these days. You know, if you don't want the hard copy, you can even have the ebook. So just do some reading. That will really help you. Brother Kwame, what do you have to add to what Brother Nate just shared with us?
Just to quickly add, Brother Kwame, just to quickly add as well, because I know, looking at my younger siblings, and I'm sure Brother Kwame would say the same, they'll think, oh gosh, reading, why do I even need to be reading for? Speaking to those in the diaspora, especially out of the continent, and the reason being is because we can't afford for young people or any people to be going into this without the right mindset. And when I mean right mindset, I mean that's where the books come in. I'll leave it there. But sorry to interrupt you, Brother Kwame.
No problem.
And Antonio, right in the chat, just add some, you know, another thing to the reading list. So yeah, the Black Panther. Yeah.
I think to add to what Brother Nate said, you know, it's important to come with the right mindset, and but everything starts with the responsibility part of it. We have to understand that the responsibility on the continent, you know, of developing the continent is upon us as a people. So the youth, they have to take on this responsibility. No one is going to come and help us to develop the continent. If we have to develop this continent, and if we have to put in place leadership which is going to develop the continent, which is going to help the continent, then still that is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to think. Okay, so these materials, whether books, whether video materials, whether electronic books, whether it is audio books, material is up there. You can go and consume as much. When you go to YouTube and look for our revolutionaries, they are speaking, people like Maurice Bishop, Kwame Ture, Martin Luther King himself is there on YouTube. Our history is there. Dr. Ben, you know, is there, who's talking about our history. On YouTube, those videos are available. When you are talking about Dr. Henry Clark, all of these people are giving our history that when you talk even today, we have people like Dr. Kambon of the University of Ghana. Videos are already available. So even those people who don't want to read, they can still listen to you and get the knowledge. And then you move to the next stage. So once you understand that the responsibility is upon me. It's upon us. The responsibility is upon us. You know, it's not about watching videos, funny videos all the time. It's not all the time about enjoyment. You know, all the time watching news videos. You know, there is, like you said, Sister Kai, there is more to life than that. So once we understand this, we understand the part of responsibility. It is upon us to change our community. It is upon us to feel for our community and understand that we are the ones. The change is within us. It is upon us to take that responsibility to change the African continent. And then we go to the next stage. We equip ourselves with that knowledge. Go out there and understand, you know, what history says about our continent as Africa. How did Uganda come about? How did Uganda come about? And when you understand that these were creations of neo-colonialism and colonialists who came here, then you start thinking on another level and you say, now I will think on that level. I will think on the level of Africa. I will think on the level of the African continent. And when you consume that material, videos out there, speeches by Dr. Kwame Gonza, speeches by Malcolm X are already there on YouTube. Speeches by Dr. Henry Clark, speeches by Dr. Kambon, you know, Obadele Kambon, they are there on YouTube. They will educate you about the Africa, you know, our Africa, how it started. And, you know, they will help you to understand the position where it is. And then from there, then you can take the next stage. The next step will be to join other groups, you know, join other Pan-African groups which are carrying out work on a Pan-African scale, who are speaking about the, you know, Pan-Africanism and where we are supposed to take our continent. From there, you will be able to contextualize, to understand what are we supposed to do. Are we supposed to reform things, or are we supposed to, you know, revolutionize? Are we supposed to transform the system which is there before we can be able to transform the continent rapidly? So from this, we can learn whatever we need to do as Africans and move forward. You know, we move forward with programs like the Rapid Africa Plan. Then you go out there, subscribe, you know, support the program, you know, speak up for it. So once you understand, you know, what is going on, then you can go out there, also support, you know, subscribe, and then continue to learn. It's a process, it's a journey which never stops. So that is what I can add on Brother Nat's articulation.
I agree with that. And the link is in the chat, guys. The link for the Rapid African Plan YouTube channel is in the chat. So kindly subscribe, and I'll put that as well in the description box for the people that watch the live stream later. So when you share this plan with you know, the youth on the continents, what is what is the reaction coming from, you know, different countries? Because, you know, it's something you are sharing with all Africans, you know, the one on the continent and the one outside the continent. But what is the reaction? How are they receiving this amazing plan? What is, I just want to know.
Yes, the reception has always been amazing. The people are welcome once you get to understand what it is about, because the Facebook and the YouTube, how they are set up, and the Twitter and the Instagram of the Rapid Africa Plan, how they are set up is that is a place where we teach about what the Rapid Africa Plan is, like how I said, the vision itself. So the vision, you know, everything starts with the vision. If you want to build a car, you start with the vision. Everything in life, any plan which you have, you start with the vision that I want to move from poverty. I want to move from poverty to, you know, to wealth. So maybe in 5 years, I want to have like maybe $1 million. I want to be worth $1 million. So that is the vision. And then you start working from there. So the Rapid Africa Plan's vision is to construct and rebuild Africa at a very fast pace of, you know, up to 60 trillion in less than 40 years. So that is the vision. So everyone who understands this, when people understand this and how it's going to be done, people have always been excited about the vision. All those people who have, you know, they have been calling us, they have been sending us messages, tell us about this, tell us about that. Recently, a gentleman came up and when he understood and bought the book and read it, he was very excited, and he told us that we should set up, you know, a group where we can teach about the Rapid Africa Plan. So immediately, you know, we allowed him, we spoke to him, and we allowed him to set up the group. So he is the one who added us to the group, because he's very excited and wants to teach people about the Rapid Africa Plan. So this is how interesting the whole thing has been. Yeah, so I'll let Brother Nat add in on that.
Yeah, I mean, you put it nicely at the end there, Brother Kwame, with explaining the experience. You know, I really want all listeners, but especially our young people, to understand the importance and the steps that will be taken. So you sign up for Rapid Africa Plan. Okay, what next? What is the experience, and what has the response been? As you said, as you was inquiring, Sister Kai, it has been amazing. It has been almost like not a surprise, but just refreshing to see the amount of people who are committed to want to see change and want to do something about change. So you come into Rapid Africa Plan, you sign up through the Facebook, you then can obviously explore and see the information that we've already got. One of which I'll read out as well, because I think it just can it encapsulates all of what Brother Kwame said, and ironically composed and produced by Brother Kwame, but really explains very concisely what Rapid Africa Plan is about. But yeah, so you go in, and as Brother Kwame said, you have the online platforms. As we know, it's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. It is where you can educate yourself, build that networking with others who are within Rapid Africa Plan via our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram. And it is about the call for action. So as we've seen of recent, Nigeria, and that is a typical example where we can pull all the information together, see what's going on, and then try to make sure that we can mobilize ourselves to do what we can all do with one voice, as what has always been spoke of. But when it comes to the example that Brother Kwame just gave at the very end, there are simple steps. As we said, you sign up, you engage, you ask any of your questions, all of your questions. But I would strongly recommend doing that after you've read the Riots Act, and making sure that these steps are followed. So, because then we know that we've all gone through something, and allowing synchronization, let's call it that. So the ability to join, then the ability to scope and explore the platforms that we're on, of getting your book, reading it all through, then posing your questions, and all throughout that, if you can, give us your ideas. If you can, donate as much or as little as you can. We're not asking for money, but it is, you know, the drive of many things. If you can, click the petitions. You know, we have a petition for a united Africa. We have a petition for getting China out of our nations. You know, there'll be more that are aligned that are coming from other corners. You know, here in the UK, we've got a big petition about reparations. You know,
Mm,
we would advocate that. So it's about doing what you can do from the simple confinements of your phone. You know, you can
true.
read, click, share, support all from your phone. You don't even have to get up and do anything.
That's
But
true.
you know, the exciting part is once you have signed up, once you've shared with the family, the Rapid Africa Plan family, once you've read the information, once you've set up maybe your own group within the Rapid Africa Plan or brought your organization on board, as well as getting on with what you are doing, but you know, knowing of the Africa Plan, it
Mm,
is a matter of us then taking the problems that we have
mm,
globally and
mm,
address. That's the crux of it. And then people can say, well, why do we need to? How do we need to? What is it
mm,
that we need to do? You won't be asking those questions so much once you've joined Rapid Africa Plan. Once you've read the text, you'll be organically knowing this is what needs to be done. I have my
mm,
skills, I have my
mm,
passion, I have my
mm.
organization, I have the umbrella body of Rapid Africa Plan. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go, Africa.
Yes.
You know. Um,
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much, Brother Nate. And the link for the Rapid Africa Plan, if you want to follow them, in fact, you need to follow them. On Instagram is in the chat. The YouTube channel as well is in the chat. Guys, please subscribe to the channel. Follow them on Facebook and keep eye on what they are doing. The plan is what is going to drive us, towards our common goal, which is to see Africa being great again, because we are great people, and we can definitely change things around if we come together, rally behind our amazing brothers and sisters that have already put this great project, initiative out there. All we need is to support them. Like Brother Nate said, they are not asking for money. What they need is our support. So please follow them on all those platforms and support them. That's all they're asking. That's why they are here. They explain the plans to us. They share the importance of us as well, rallying behind them, because it's not a one or two people things to face. It's all of us that understands the time we are in right now, which I always say here on this platform, we are at war. So the quicker we get together and sort things out, the better it will be for us and the next generation. So thanks so much, guys, for brothers, for sharing everything about the rap. And the book as well is called The Riot Acts. You can get the book on Amazon. It will give you a deeper understanding as well of the Rapid African Plan. And so, pour les frères francophones, cette initiative. Do you want to add something, Brother Nate?
Apologies, because I would have just gone away with your accent in French. I was just taken by that. But just quickly,
Yeah, go ahead.
two things. One thing is this, I'll say to everyone listening.
Mm.
I think we all generally have this commonness of we are frustrated about the situation. We know Africa is great. And we know that we are being oppressed as a people. They can't hold us down, by the way, but then we're being oppressed. Alas, don't worry. You have probably got an idea. You have probably got a plan. All right. What we're saying is come forth, step up, show us, because otherwise we're just saying stuff. And if you are a true person who believes you're the Messiah, or you've got the black print, the full black print, you need to come step up and be with us. This is not a competition. We are in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, our organizations across the globe. And so I'll land with being a bit more specific about the Rapid Africa Plan. And this I give honor to Brother Kwame. The Rapid Africa Plan seeks to create new systems on every level: political, economical, social, technological, agricultural, through energy, and the rest while carrying out a massive project of African cultural rehabilitation and preservation. The plan is enshrined in a book called The Rights Act, the Third World Modernization Bible. What we are working on now is to pull support behind it of the youth. And once that is done, then it will gain power to help us negotiate for a way of or force out the existing colonial structure. We have an understanding that it will take time, even up to 5 years or more. But we also understand that these are revolutionary moments right now we're living in, when the right idea which we have, if well packaged and presented, can spread quickly in less than 1 month and gain momentum. The Rapid Africa Plan's vision, as Brother Kwame touched on, is to transform, not reform, the whole unified and integrated African economy to a leading GDP, as Brother Kwame mentioned, of 60 trillion in the next 40 years from now. But you can't do this on the existing colonial, political, economic, and social infrastructure. We're aware of that. But, you know, our people, it is about being constructive with our approach, you know, making sure that we don't lose momentum and that we are going steadfast to our goal. So lastly, actually, the gentleman who developed it is from Zimbabwe, as Brother Kwame mentioned, and has been staying in the USA for the last 20 years working on this. He came down to Africa, and we are contacting the right people who are supposed to help us in this project. So he is here now in Africa. And those right people are you that is listening right now. You know, he has spent more than 8 years studying the African problem and 20 years researching on it and structured a solution, which is the Rapid Africa Plan. If you want to know more, we want to invite you to have a discussion with us by joining all the Rapid Africa Plan social media handles, as we mentioned. You can get information direct from the source of the Facebook or any of our other of our platforms. So I'll land there and give thanks. You can find that information once you signed up, and it even gives us our WhatsApp details and, you know, enabling you to really link in with us. So apologies for going on, but I hope that gives more clarity as well.
Perfect. It's absolutely great, you know, how you round everything up. Guys, we need you, we need you, we need you. As we all know, you know, people sat down, the Muzungu, they sat down, they look around and they're like, oh, how can we actually, you know, rob these people properly? You know, with intelligence at the back of it. They sat down, they took, you know, a pen or pencils and a ruler, and they start, you know, making certain lines to say, okay, this part of the continent will go to the French. This one will go to the Portuguese. This one will go to the English. You know, they had a plan. That's why they were able to do what they were, you know, they are doing for centuries. Let's put it like that. So now, you know, we have our own plans. All we are asking everyone listening right now is just follow the Rapid African Plan on all the social media platform, and please get in touch. All the talking, all the long 365 days is not going to face it. It's only the plan that will drive us towards our goals. So thanks everyone for joining, and for my brothers and sisters, the francophones. Tout ce que je peux vous dire, c'est que c'est un plan vraiment qui va nous aider, parce que Rapid African Plan, eux, ils travaillent déjà avec les jeunes, disons, partout. Donc, ce dont ils ont besoin, c'est de nous, en fait, les adultes, les jeunes, nous tous, d'être avec eux, d'être solidaires, et puis aussi, ils ont leur YouTube chaîne, et vous pouvez aussi les suivre sur Twitter, Rapid African Plan, vous pouvez les suivre sur Instagram, et c'est ça ce qu'ils veulent. C'est ça ce qu'ils veulent. Nous tous, on a compris l'importance d'une Afrique sans frontières, et eux aussi, ils veulent nous aider à réaliser ça. Donc, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, abonnez-vous à leur chaîne. Je vais mettre le lien et tout ce dont vous avez besoin dans la boîte de description. Et si c'est votre première fois sur ma chaîne, n'oubliez surtout pas de vous abonner. Et si vous avez aimé ce live, partagez aussi, afin que d'autres personnes sachent exactement ce qui se passe. Merci beaucoup et très, très bonne soirée. À très bientôt. So, Brother Nate and Brother Kwame, thanks so much for your time and for sharing this great, great, great plan with us tonight. I appreciate both of you, what you are doing. And, you know, I'm here for you guys anytime you need to come and share something, you know exactly what to do. Thanks so much. And thanks everyone for joining and for listening. I appreciate you all. All the link will be in the description box. So please, please follow them. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
You're welcome.